Fearing for their safety, Ukrainian families started leaving their homeland even before Russian troops started the invasion February 24th of last year. Tonight, 14 million Ukrainians are either displaced from their homes or they have no homes to return to. Many of them have no idea when or even if they will ever be able to go back to their homeland. We met Olga Lodiana and her sons last night and heard their story of fleeing Kharkiv just days after the invasion began and making it to safety ultimately here in Wilmington. Well, tonight we're going to hear the story of two other families who lived through months of Russian attacks before escaping their homeland. And we'll meet the couple here who opened their home to help total strangers begin new lives. Svetlana Baranova and Natalia Melnik endured 10 months of attacks during Russia's invasion before deciding to leave their homes in Ukraine.
In Ukraine, winter, not like in here, it's very cold. And when electricity
got cut off.
Yes, our heat off too.
Oh.
It's cold in apartments, it's house. Sometimes we had not water.
Yeah.
In house, in apartments.
Right now, there is a ban on most men leaving Ukraine. So these two moms left their husbands and their country on Christmas Day, escaping with their children by themselves.
It's very hard every day to be here because we are stayed here without husbands, without our family. It's very hard. And when you know that in your country, war.
The organization Welcome.us partners with Rotary clubs across the country. And through a group called Uniting for Ukraine, they work to relocate families to the U.S. Dan Parks and Wilmington East Rotary answered the call.
It was easy to sell it to my club. It was even easier, being the area governor, to reach out to my 300 Rotarians in Wilmington saying, hey, we need your help, we need your money. And they have helped, without question.
Rotarians raised enough money to bring both families here and help pay for food, clothing, and other essentials for the first 90 days. Dan and his wife Jane went one step further, becoming sponsors to Svetlana, Natalia, and their kids.
I got a guest house in my backyard, which now that all my family has moved down here, was going to be vacant all winter. So, asking my wife, I said, wouldn't this be a great idea to let somebody use it all winter? And she looked at me like I was nuts. But in my mind, they needed more than just throwing them in an apartment and checking on them every other day. I mean, I needed them close by to make sure, okay, we're going to get them off on the right foot.
You know, they're not strangers very long. They're sort of like my, I had 4 sons, so you know, now my daughters are Ukrainian, you know.
Svetlana and Natalia now take English classes 4 days a week. Yeva is in elementary school. Mark goes to daycare. They are safe, but heartbroken by the images they see from their homeland.
It's very difficult to see like women suffer with their children. It is painful to look at these situations when children suffer.
Are you happy?
We're happy that we are safe. We're happy, but I can't say I'm happy absolutely because war continue.
Yes, and our husband.
It's not absolutely happiness. When war the end, it will absolutely happy.
As in Olga's case, Svetlana and Natalia are both concerned about the possibility of extending their status to stay in the United States, depending on how long the war lasts in Ukraine. Now, there are ways you can get involved with helping these families or others, whether it be through Welcome.us, Church World Service, or by joining the efforts of Dan Parks and his Wilmington East Rotary. Now, I've set up links to all of those groups inside this story on our website.